Hello, and welcome to NJ.com's live TV chat with TV writer Vicki Hyman. Today we'll be talking about some of the new shows Vicki's most excited about and some of her Golden Globe predictions. Vicki, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Anthony. Long time no see.
I know, it feels like a long time. All right, the winter season has arrived. Tell us right off the bat, Vicki, will it be as exciting as the fall season?
I actually think it might be a little bit more exciting if you take away all those really great premium cable dramas that we got last season. I mean, we had The Affair, we had The Missing, we had a lot of really good stuff on premium cable. Broadcast was not so exciting. This season's actually going to be very good for comedies, I think, when, we had a whole string of really bad comedies in the fall.
All right, well, let's get to the shows that you're looking most forward to. And I'd say the first entry is probably the most anticipated new show of the season. I'm referring to Better Call Saul on AMC. It's a prequel of sorts to Breaking Bad and centers on Walter White's shady attorney Saul Goodman.
Yeah, it's about how Saul Goodman became Saul Goodman.
Exactly. Now, there's a lot riding on the show considering the pedigree, correct?
There is. I mean, the expectations are very high. I think they wanted to. I mean, they, of course, would want to expand the brand, and how else can you do it? Because a prequel about Walter White just wouldn't be that exciting. Now, would it?
Exactly. Now, I mean, now Vince Gilligan is probably going to be pretty heavily involved, right?
He is. He's definitely on the producers.
Next up, we have HBO's Togetherness from the Duplass brothers. It's a dramedy, it's a comedy, and the show debuts Sunday, and I know you saw the first few. Tell us what you thought.
I really, really enjoyed this one. I don't have much experience with the Duplass brothers on film. All I really know them from is from the Mindy Project, which they are fairly unlikable characters. But I loved this show so much. It felt to me like the sort of painful comedy you get with Girls, except the characters aren't deliberately awful. I mean, you really feel for these characters, and maybe it's just because they're all like in their 30s, they're in their 40s, they're struggling with the same sorts of things that, I'm at that same time of life, and I don't really feel the whole Girls thing going on. But it's really, it's funny in a painful way. It's got a wonderful cast. Mark Duplass plays a sound man in Hollywood, but a really low-key kind of guy. His wife, Melanie Linsky, who I remember from Heavenly Creatures very, very long time ago, is his frustrated wife raising two kids. And then they have her sister and his best friend move into their house, and the best friend and the sister are both struggling with their own issues of being late 30s, early 40s. He's struggling with his acting career. She's struggling with her romantic life. It's really great.
And hijinks, I guess, ensue.
Low-key hijinks.
Yeah, low-key, right. Is this a new age for HBO? I mean, are they going through an identity crisis? I mean, there was a time where, let's take away Game of Thrones, there was a water cooler show on just about every season, and by season I mean, summer, spring, fall, winter. HBO seems to be rolling out these quieter comedies and dramas. What do you think?
Well, I think that comedically they may be searching. They released a few shows last year, Doll and M, which was sort of, again, one of these sort of dark comedies. They had Getting On. Is it Getting On?
Yeah.
I watched a few episodes. I know a lot of people do like the show. It stars Laurie Metcalf in sort of a geriatric unit of a hospital, and I just found it really not pleasant to watch. It's probably not supposed to be pleasant to watch. This is something that, again, is not hysterically funny, but I think it's definitely going in the right direction for them. It's
okay,
really
maybe
relevant.
we'll re-explore it after maybe a few weeks, and we can talk about it then. Your next show, is 12 Monkeys on the SciFi Network. I don't think I've seen 12 Monkeys since it was in the theater in the 1990s. So
for me, it's one of those movies that whenever it's on TV, I'm like, and I watch it. I love that movie.
So what can we expect from the TV show?
Well, they say that it has the same characters mostly. You have the Bruce Willis character. He's jailed in some dystopian future, and he gets sent back in time, as in the movie, to sort of rescue humanity from this virus that created this dystopia. But they also say that it's going to be different. I just got the screeners in the mail the other day, and I haven't watched it yet.
Mm-hmm.
I producers who say it's got the same. The characters are the same. I think it has to go in a different direction because it's a series. It's going to continue.
Do you know if Terry Gilliam has anything to do with this production, even as a figurehead?
I don't think so.
Okay. All right. Your next show is Fresh Off the Boat. It's ABC's new family comedy that centers on an Asian family in Orlando, Florida. Now, from the look of the TV spots, it looks to me like they're marketing this more along the lines of Modern Family. But when I read your description, it sounds a little more Everyone Loves Chris.
It is. It has very much the Everyone Loves Chris structure. It's a period piece in that it's set in the 90s, but it's not like about the 90s like the Goldbergs is about the 80s, or that 70s show is about the 70s. But it does feel very fresh. It feels funny. You've got the whole the kid is first generation. The parents come from Taiwan, and they're all about the American dream, but also struggling with their kid wanting to be an American teenager, and they're trying to hold on to a little bit of how they used to do things in Taiwan. And I thought it was very funny. I really liked it. Okay,
well, I'm going to put that on my list too. Your next show is way, way, way under the radar.
Yes.
Tell us why Fortitude is even on your radar.
Because I get emails from Pivot and Participant Media, which is this tiny little new cable channel that I don't even think is available. It's not available on my cable network, but you can watch it on DirecTV and Dish, I believe. It had the reason why I know about it is that it had a reality show comedy that was set in Trenton a few months back about a recycling company set in Trenton. This show, I just love every single actor that is involved with it. It's set in the Arctic Circle, in this small town that's never seen violent crime before, and lo and behold, a violent crime, a murder, is committed. It stars Stanley Tucci. Who doesn't love him some Stanley Tucci, or her? It stars Christopher Eccleston, who many people know was the first Doctor of the Doctor Who, the new era of Doctor Who, and Michael Gambon, who many of you may remember as Professor Dumbledore for the last, I guess, except for the first couple of Harry Potters. But he's also an amazing English actor. He's been in a lot of really wonderful things. And I love moody mysteries. What can I tell you?
So it's a mystery. That was my next question. Is it a comedy, dramedy?
Oh no, it's a very moody mystery.
Okay. All right. Well, so everyone check those out. Now let's move on to the Golden Globes. On Sunday, this is kind of like the award season officially kicks off. There's too many categories to delve into here, so we're just going to focus on a few. The first one, drama series. We have The Affair, Downton Abbey, Game of Thrones, The Good Wife, and House of Cards. What do you think?
I would say I would cross Downton Abbey off the list right away. It was really wonderful the first season. There's still a lot to enjoy about it, but I just don't think that it's a set in the 19. I don't think it's award material anymore. The Good Wife, everybody's been talking about the resurgence. I catch it here and there. It is very good. Game of Thrones, top-rated show on HBO. Everybody loves it. I am hoping, actually, that it may go to The Affair, which I just thought was one of the most exciting new shows of last season. I mentioned it earlier. It's about... It's on Showtime. It's about two people caught up in an affair on Long Island during the summer, and it's told this really interesting dual narrative. You're showing you how the affair happened, and then you also sort of flash forward to some mystery surrounding something that came out of the affair, and so you're sort of working towards the middle, which I just find really interesting narrative structure, which you've seen a lot actually this past year.
Well, the Hollywood Foreign Press tends to take chances on new shows. So
it does. I would think that between either best drama, Dominic West, the stars for best actor, and Ruth Wilson's for best actress, that one of them will come home with something.
Okay. Next up, drama, actress Claire Danes, Homeland, Viola Davis, How to Get Away with Murder, Juliana Margulies, The Good Wife, Ruth Wilson, The Affair, and Robin Wright, House of Cards. What do you think?
Okay. Well, as I said, Ruth Wilson certainly has a shot there. The Golden Globes aren't exactly like the Emmys in that they keep awarding the same thing to people over and over again. I think Juliana Margulies has won a couple of times. I could be wrong, but I think she's had her years in the past. The Golden Globes like their comely ladies, so they're youngins. So that's why I think Ruth Wilson certainly has a shot here. But Viola Davis has been giving a powerhouse performance on How to Get Away with Murder. She comes from the big screen. She's never won an Oscar, though I think she's been nominated twice. And I think the Golden Globes would love to award her with something. And I think it would be perfectly deserving for her to win this.
Okay, fair enough. Comedy or musical series? We have Girls, Jane the Virgin, Orange is the New Black, Silicon Valley, and Transparent.
Now, I would say Silicon Valley, let's throw this out of there. I mean, I enjoyed the comedy a lot, but it's silly comedy. But then again, they gave it to Brooklyn Nine-Nine last year, so I don't know, maybe that's the equivalent of maybe Silicon Valley's equivalent of that. I don't think they're going to give it to Girls. They do like, fresh young shows. Jane the Virgin, which is on the CW. It's the only broadcast show among these five. Maybe. I would like to think that they're going to go out there and give it to one of the streaming series. So we have Transparent, which stars Jeffrey Tambor. Very, very dark comedy. I mean, it's almost more like a drama with comedic elements at points, but Jeffrey Tambor is amazing.
And that's on Amazon Prime.
That's on Amazon Prime. And then there's Orange is the New Black, which, everybody loves Orange is the New Black. It had an extremely strong second season. It's got a wonderful cast. I would love to see the given to Orange is the New Black.
Okay. All right. Next up, comedy musical series, actress, Lena Dunham, Girls, Edie Falco, Nurse Jackie, Julia Louis-Dreyfus for Veep, Gina Rodriguez for Jane the Virgin, and Taylor Schilling for Orange is the New Black. This is a stacked category. I don't know who can win this.
Well, I just don't think it's going to be Taylor Schilling. The second season wasn't as much of a showcase for her as it was for the entire rest of the cast, who I think Uzo Aduba, who won the Emmy, I think is up in the supporting actress category. I think that this could be Gina Rodriguez is category. She plays the star of Jane the Virgin. She's funny, she's fresh, she's smart. It's a great role. So I think that this could be where Golden Globes gives it to the hot young thing. She is certainly the hot young thing this year. I don't think it's Lena Dunham anymore, although I think the show has gotten much better over the course of the 3 years. As I said, I don't actively hate watch it as much as I used to. I just watch it now. And Edie Falco and Julia Louis-Dreyfus, they're great. They've certainly been honored enough. I think this is going to go to Gina Rodriguez.
And besides, Julia Louis-Dreyfus can always win another Emmy because she scoops those things up like they're M&Ms. Okay, our last category is probably, I'd say, the toughest. TV, movie, or miniseries. We have Fargo, The Missing, The Normal Heart, Olive Kitteridge, and True Detective. Now.
Now, everybody knows how I feel about Fargo. It was the best thing on television last year, and yes, it should probably win this too. But I have to do a little campaigning for The Missing, which, if you haven't seen it, please watch it. The finale is Saturday night. Somehow, if you have Stars, then you probably have Stars Play. You can catch up on it. It's another one of these shows that does the dual narrative, where it's equally split. Unlike The Missing, this is equally split between the 8 years ago, a little boy on vacation in France disappeared. His family searches for him. It follows that investigation, and then 8 years later, the obsessed father finds a bit of evidence that leads them to reopen the case. So you have the original disappearance, you have the new investigation that's opening up, and of course you learn about all the impact that the disappearance has had on the parents of the young boy. And I try not to binge watch, but after I saw the second to last episode on my TV, I had to go to Stars Play and watch the finale. I could not stop myself, and it is riveting. It's so good.
So is that your call for...
No, it's still Fargo, but I just wanted to tell people to watch The Missing.
Okay. So I'm going to say, if that was your call, Vicki, the Missing is not going to win. I really hate to tell you that.
Well, I was really happy that it got a couple of nominees because not Frances McDormand, no, Frances O'Connor,
Mhm.
who stars as the mother in The Missing, did win did get nominated for Best Actress in a movie or miniseries. But I think she's going up against Frances McDormand there for Olive Kitteridge, who was incredible, and Alison Tolman, who is my sentimental favorite for Fargo.
Sure.
Billy Bob Thornton, I think, is pretty much a lock, I think, for winning Best Actor in a TV movie or miniseries. He was great. And I think True Detective is kind of too long ago at this point. Maybe it's like it's sort of faded, hasn't it?
It does feel like it's been about a year ago, so
Yeah.
you're right. All right, well, that about wraps it up for us. For the full list of nominations for both TV and film for the Golden Globes, visit NJ.com/entertainment, and be sure to check back Sunday night, where Vicki will be keeping everyone up to speed on who looked like what on the red carpet. And Vicki, I'm sure we'll be seeing you much, much more this year. Check back next Friday. Say goodbye to everyone, Vicki.
Bye.
Take care.